everyone. Welcome to The Frank Life. I'm Frank, and I am excited to have you here today. For those of you new here, welcome. This is a podcast inspiring you to take charge of your relationships, career, and financial success. And when I am not acting a fool on this show, I am busting my butt as a leadership development coach and trainer. I provide leadership programs to organizations looking to improve their team's levels of engagement and energy. I also have a private coaching practice where I support individuals who want clarity and confidence in their work and relationships, but are stuck because of time, money, and stress. And one of the most popular topics people work with me on is the focus of today's episode, and that is leadership. So when people hear the word leadership, they generally think, oh, okay, yeah, a leader is someone who has a lot of responsibility or who has some kind of position or label that gives them a lot of power. And what that does is it makes people who don't have those titles or labels feel like they're just not leaders, when in actuality, we are all leaders. It's not about any kind of job title or years of experience we have. Leadership is about how we show up to challenges, to people, and most importantly, to stress. So leadership is not so much how we lead others, but it's how we lead our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So rather than wondering if you are a leader, it's actually more accurate to ask yourself how well you are leading right now. And we're going to go over the framework that I use in my coaching and that I am trained to teach. So just a little bit of background, this framework is created by Dr. Bruce Schneider. He's the founder of the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching. They're an accredited and comprehensive coach training institute, and I'm also an instructor for them and have helped certify hundreds of students looking to become successful coaches and powerful leaders in their communities and businesses. Now, I don't just love teaching and coaching people through understanding this, but I also love applying it to my own life. I absolutely love this framework because it totally transformed the way I see myself and how I react to stress when I'm going about my life. So before we dive in, I've got a couple of questions for you. Firstly, if you were living to your potential, what would change? Really think about it. If you were living with greater intention and awareness of who you are and what you were fully capable of, what would that do for you? What benefit would it have on your health, your relationships, your finances? Any kind of goal that we haven't achieved or desire that we haven't fulfilled in our life is directly related to how we are showing up as a leader. And the biggest mistake people make when they explore leadership is they focus on personality. So personality are the stable characteristics that generally last throughout our lifetime. For example, some people are more introverted while other people are more extroverted. And when people wrap themselves around this label, it puts them in a box and it creates judgments that hold them back from experiencing their potential. For example, introverts are generally known to be shy people, so they're better off doing work by themselves or just sitting in the back of a room and not really sharing their opinions. Well, I'm an introvert myself, and I found out that it was my attitude about my personality that was holding me back. So if I allowed myself to feel that introverts are only capable of having so much success, then I would have held myself back from pursuing the goals that I most wanted to achieve in my life. So it's not about personality when it comes to our potential. It is about our attitude. What are the core thoughts, perceptions, and worldviews that we have that are working for us and also holding us back? This is where our true potential comes from. So the leadership framework that I use to understand attitude is called energy leadership, and it breaks down leadership into 7 distinct levels. And each level is kind of like playing a different record on a track player. Everyone will give you a whole new experience of life, because each one carries its own distinct attitude, feelings, and behaviors. And as I go through these levels, try to think about moments in your life where you find yourself showing up in each of the levels, because we all express all of the 7 levels. Yet most of the time, we are unaware of it. So we are unconsciously reacting to life rather than consciously choosing how we want to show up as leaders in any given moment. So level 1 is the I lose level. And the best way to really explain this level is to give you an example of a time when I was totally stuck in level 1. So I oftentimes travel to various cities on the West Coast to facilitate leadership and coach trainings. And part of that is staying in hotels. And generally, things go really smoothly. I check into my room, I lay out all my clothes, I get to sleep in a nice big comfy bed, and I wake up in the morning to get ready for the 10-hour training. And one morning I woke up for one of these trainings, and I was excited to get the day going. And I went to turn on the shower to discover that the shower was not working. It was totally broken. And I had only 30 minutes to shower and get ready so that I could be at the training room ready to instruct a group of 50 new coaches. So my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, of course this would happen to me. This is just my luck. I turned and looked in the mirror and saw my ridiculous bedhead and thought, there's nothing I can do. This is going to throw off my day. The students are going to see me looking filthy and unprofessional. So this is level 1. This is where we focus on problems, and when things go wrong, we blame ourselves. This is also where we are unproductive because we feel like there is nothing we can do. So level 1 is where we feel stuck and out of control in our lives, and as a result of that attitude, it is very difficult for us to make any decisions at all. So we generally avoid decisions altogether. Now, thankfully, I was able to shift my awareness to a higher level of energy, which is level 2. This is the I win, you lose level. So after a few moments of feeling like there was nothing I could do, I channeled all of my disappointment into frustration. And I thought, you have got to be kidding me. This is such terrible service. For being such a nice hotel, how could they not even have working showers? I'm going to make them pay for this and just wait until they hear from me about this. And I stormed across my room to pick up the phone and call them. So this level of awareness is where we put blame on others when things go wrong. We don't take any responsibility. This is where we work and operate in a crisis mode. And as a result of that, we are highly judgmental of others. We're very argumentative because we care about winning. And as you can imagine, this damages and drains the relationships in our lives, and it also burns us out too in the process. Yet so many people show up with this level of leadership by default simply because it's the only way they know how to get what they want. But just before I dialed the front desk, I remembered that there were other ways I could show up to this situation. So level 3 is the level of I win and I hope you win too. So I thought for a moment about what was really going on. And I told myself, you know what? This isn't the end of the world. Things like this happen from time to time. The staff are doing the best they can, and they probably just weren't aware of this before I arrived, which I can totally forgive them for. And I still have 30 minutes to figure this out, so what can I really do about this? So, total shift in my attitude. Now, level 3 is where we start to cope with our situation. We can reframe it, rationalize it, look on the bright side. It's also where we are resilient and able to bounce back when things don't go as planned. Now, here is where we're able to take responsibility for getting things done. So, rather than being reactive, like we are in the lower 2 levels, we're able to be more proactive and choose how it is we want to handle a situation. So I dialed the number to the front desk, and as it was ringing, I thought, what if I'm able to show compassion in this situation? Even though this was a big setback for me, I didn't have to take it so personally, and I'm sure that they have lots of requests like this, so the last thing I really want to do is add more stress to their plates. So finally someone answered the phone, and I said, "Good morning, how are you doing today? I'm sure you are really busy and get lots of requests, and I respect all the hard work it takes to do your job. I just wanted to share that my shower isn't working, and if possible, I would really appreciate if someone could come by to check it out." And they said, "Sure, someone will be right up there." And I said, "Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for all the work that you do." And the attendant said, "Thank you. It really means a lot to hear that." So level 4 is our heart-centered level. This is where we allow ourselves to experience gratitude, compassion, and generosity in situations. People here, when they're showing up with this level of leadership, are actively finding ways to express kindness and compassion in situations. So as you can imagine, this is a powerful level for building relationships because we are truly coming from a place of service. Now, after just a couple minutes, I heard a knock at the door, and it was a repairman, and within 10 minutes, he was able to completely fix my shower, and I had plenty of time to still get ready and be at my training on time. So later on that night, I was reflecting on that morning that I had, and I thought, that was really an interesting experience. I wonder what purpose that served for me and what I could learn from that. And I realized that, in my life, I experienced lots of people in service-related professions, like flight attendants or front desk attendants or house cleaners, who are supporting me in so many ways that I don't acknowledge. So I thought, wow, I really do have an opportunity to further express my gratitude in more ways than I'm currently doing right now. So this is the power of level 5. This is the we both win level. This is where we focus on the bigger purpose or meaning to something and focus on creative ways to develop win-win situations. So it's working for someone else, it's working for us, and we're both collectively able to benefit. So people with a lot of this level are highly collaborative and purpose-driven. So those are the first 5 levels of leadership, and there are actually 2 more that I will dive deeper into in a future episode. But for now, you might be wondering, I wonder where I stand within these levels. And something that's really cool is there is an assessment that specifically indicates the average level that you show up with. The assessment is called the Energy Leadership Index, and I use it with all of my clients because it is so transformative. And what's unique about this assessment is you don't just learn where you stand, but you learn how to raise your level of leadership. And this is backed up with research. So the higher your average level, the more satisfaction you experience when it comes to your financial success, your ability to lead, your productivity, your work-life balance, your time management, and so much more. Actually, I have here a note that one of my clients sent me after she took the assessment. She said, "I took the ELI when I wanted to take my life to the next level. At the time, there was something holding me back from achieving my greatest potential. I was struggling with self-doubt and the desire to impress people rather than express myself authentically. After receiving my results, I discovered a clearer picture of my strengths, and I am now more aware of my emotions. I felt empowered after my session with Frank." So if you are listening to this podcast now, I really want to make this assessment available to you because I so believe in its power. And you can take advantage of a little promotion that I'll be offering until September 1st, where if you email me, frank@thefranklife.com, and express interest in the assessment, you can use the discount code SHOWER to go off of our little inside joke from this episode and receive that assessment for 50% off. Oh my gosh! Again, that promotion will last until September 1st, so email me if you are interested. And now, before we close out today's episode, if you are an entrepreneur feeling like your business isn't growing as quickly as you thought it would, and you wish that you could hit a fast forward button when it comes to the marketing and sales of your business, well, you finally can. Enrollment is open for my exclusive business building mastermind. It's called Fast Forward with Frank. And to apply and learn more about that, head to www.thefranklife.com/fast. That is thefranklife.com/fast. And our early bird special is ending in just a couple of weeks, so go ahead and send in those applications. Thank you all for tuning into today's episode. I post new episodes just about every Friday, and be sure to tune in next week where I'll be coaching someone who is wanting to cut through their stress so they can create some positive change in their lives. As always, it has been great being frank with you. Ciao for now.